How's it going, all you beautiful people? Prismatic Evolutions is underrated. And that's crazy to say because I know a lot of people want Prismatic Evolutions. It's a very sought after set. It's a set that's opened up a lot. It's a set that a lot of people want and are collecting. But price wise, Prismatic Evolutions, I believe, is underrated. And I'm going to go over some stuff. I have some notes in front of me. So if it looks like I'm looking at something else, I am looking at something else. I don't have photographic memory. I didn't memorize these numbers. So I have notes in front of me and I will be looking at them from time to time. But this is why I believe that Prismatic Evolutions is underrated. So I'm going to be looking at the ETB prices because Prismatic Evolutions is a specialty set and specialty sets don't have booster boxes. So I'm just going to look at ETB prices because that's what's fair to compare to other sets. So Prismatic Evolutions ETB currently is $168, and it had a huge dip because it was a massive Prismatic Evolutions ETB reprint, and that is something to note. And one of the reasons why I think currently price-wise Prismatic Evolutions is underrated, especially after this price drop. So one important thing about Prismatic Evolutions is, if you didn't know, and I made 2 videos on this, I'm sure you watch other videos, any Pokemon set with a G on the bottom left of it did go out of print yesterday. So that's Scarlet and Violet Base, 2 Paldean Fates, all those sets went out of print yesterday. So any of the sets with H on it, and Prismatic Evolutions is one of the sets with H on it, is going to go out of rotation next year in 2027 around this part of the year. So about 1 year from now, Prismatic Evolutions will be going out of rotation, which based on past trends means that it is going to go out of print. So there is only 1 year left of Prismatic Evolutions, which is very important on this discussion because we never know when Pokemon will stop printing a lot of Prismatic Evolutions, because up until this point, ever since Prismatic Evolutions came out, they printed Prismatic Evolutions like crazy. I feel like they've printed Prismatic Evolutions the most out of any set since it came out. But with a lot of hot sets like Ascended Heroes, you don't know when Prismatic Evolutions will stop getting printed. So I'm going to be comparing it to 4 other sets. Ascended Heroes, another very popular set. I will talk a little bit more about it, comparing it to Prismatic Evolutions and the numbers, but Ascended Heroes ETBs is currently $137. And one very important thing about Ascended Heroes ETBs is it's on the I block. So it's going to go out of print in 2028, 2 years from now. Prismatic Evolutions is going out of print in 1 year. Ascended Heroes is going out of print in 2 years. Phantasmal Flames is another one that I'm going to compare it to. And Phantasmal Flames ETB is currently $124. And Phantasmal Flames is also, just like Ascended Heroes, in the I block. So it is going to go out of print in 2 years in 2028. Whereas Prismatic Evolution is going out of print next year. Paldean Fates ETBs are over $400 right now. And they're currently out of print as of yesterday. So it is important to note that they're out of print. But Prismatic Evolutions is going to be out of print in 1 year. And the last set I'm going to be comparing it to is Obsidian Flames. And the Obsidian Flames ETB is about $250. And currently it is out of print as of yesterday. So it's another one of those sets that was in the G block. So it's important to note that Obsidian Flames is out of print as of yesterday. And Prismatic Evolutions will be going out of print next year. So let's dive into this a little bit. So Prismatic Evolutions has a $1,500 Umbreon card. It has a $400 Sylveon card. It has a $280 Leafeon card. And it has 7 other cards $100 plus. A lot of the evolutions, some other cards that are $100 plus. So total, it has 100 cards $100 plus. And obviously all the evolutions are worth a good amount, with the Umbreon being $1,500. So it has a lot of good hits. And compared to Ascended Heroes, this is a very interesting comparison. Ascended Heroes actually has 11 cards over $100, whereas Prismatic Evolutions has 10 cards over $100. In Ascended Heroes, the big hits are the Gengar, $1,200, the Pikachu, the Forest Pikachu, there's 2 Pikachus in there, but the Forest Pikachu is currently about $800, and the Dragonite is about $700, and there's other good cards like the other Pikachu, the Gold Charizard, things of that sort. So Ascended Heroes actually has 11 cards $100 plus, whereas Prismatic Evolutions has 10 cards $100 plus. And a Prismatic Evolutions ETB is $168. Ascended Heroes ETB is $137. So Ascended Heroes ETB is actually $31 less than a Prismatic Evolutions ETB. So you might be asking, why is Prismatic Evolutions underrated compared to Ascended Heroes? And this is why I believe that it's underrated. So if you just look at the card value, that's not a full accurate comparison for these reasons. Prismatic Evolutions has 180 cards in the set. Ascended Heroes is the largest set that Pokemon has ever printed with 284 cards. So it has 104 more cards than Prismatic Evolutions. So because of that, because of that, it's not a full comparison comparing just the value of the cards, how many cards are over $100, because Ascended Heroes has a lot more cards than Prismatic Evolutions. And the other thing is Ascended Heroes booster bundles have not been out yet. And I would say that a booster bundles are the one thing that Pokemon does reprint the most, and it's the one thing that allows people to open the most packs in a set. Like for example, Prismatic Evolutions booster bundles, they've gotten printed a lot, and a lot of people, at least in the beginning, these days, not so much because it's pricier now, but booster bundles are typically the product that people will open the most packs in because it gets printed the most, and there's typically not a huge premium to booster bundles. So once Ascended Heroes booster bundles do come out, I think that there's going to be a lot more cards on the market of Ascended Heroes, and the prices will drop a little for Ascended Heroes. Not a lot. I'm not saying that Ascended Heroes is a bad set. I actually think Ascended Heroes is just as good of a set as Prismatic Evolutions, and if you argue Ascended Heroes is a better set, that's not a bad argument. It's just that there's different factors to it. One thing is, Prismatic Evolutions is only $31 more than Ascended Heroes right now. And Prismatic Evolutions is going to go out of print next year, whereas Ascended Heroes will be going out of print in 2 years. And with the new printing facility going to be partially used by the end of next year, and also Pokemon hasn't reprinted a lot of Ascended Heroes yet, which I know they're going to do because they did the same thing with Prismatic Evolutions. Ascended Heroes is going to be printed a lot. And I don't know how much it's going to be printed. I'm not saying Ascended Heroes is a bad investment. Ascended Heroes will go up over time, but I do think price-wise, comparison-wise, Prismatic Evolutions only being $31 above Ascended Heroes, I think that means that Prismatic Evolutions is underrated. The next thing I'm going to be comparing to, Phantasmal Flames. A Prismatic Evolutions ETB is $168. Phantasmal Flames ETB is $124. So a Phantasmal Flames ETB is only $44 less than a Prismatic Evolutions ETB. And just like Ascended Heroes, Phantasmal Flames is going to go out of print in 2 years. Prismatic Evolutions is going to go out of print next year. So Phantasmal Flames has another whole year after Prismatic Evolutions is out of print, and then they're also going to deal with the printing facility, which we don't really know what's going to happen, but Pokemon will be able to print more stuff. We'll see what that really does to demand and prices. But during that time, Phantasmal Flames will be in print where Prismatic Evolutions will not, because they're going to go out of print around this time next year, and the printing facility won't be active and ready to go. And one other thing is, if you look at the prices of cards for Phantasmal Flames, I know it's a small set, but they have the Charizard, one of the best Charizards ever made, $800. The gold Charizard is $335. And after that, the next most expensive card is the Charizard X EX, which is $34. So they have an $800 card, a $335 card, and then a $34 card. Whereas Prismatic Evolutions has 10 cards over $100, a $1,500 card, a $400 card, $280 card, a lot of other evolutions that are worth a good amount, $200-something. And Prismatic Evolutions ETBs are out. Prismatic Evolutions is also going to go out of print 1 year earlier than Phantasmal Flames, and it's only $44 less or more than a Phantasmal Flames ETB. So you're going to say, okay, that's cool and all, but why does the going out of print matter? Well, it does, because look at Paldean Fates. Paldean Fates ETBs are over $400 right now, and you might be asking, why is it so expensive? But it's because it's out of print now. They didn't print a lot of Paldean Fates ETBs, and they haven't printed one in a long time, but it's over $400. And Paldean Fates, set-wise, it has the Bubble Mew, a great card, $800. The Charizard, $285. The Gardevoir, $150. And then the Baby Pikachu, $62. So they only have 3 cards over $100. But the ETB is $232 more expensive than Prismatic Evolutions. So going out of print does matter, because why is a Paldean Fates ETB $232 more than a Prismatic Evolutions ETB? It is because it's already out of print now. And that's important to note because, like I said, Prismatic Evolutions is going to go out of print 1 year earlier than both Ascended Heroes and Phantasmal Flames, and it won't have to deal with the new printing facility, which I don't know what the printing facility is going to do to the market, but that's just something to note. And then the last thing, if you say, oh, but Paldean Fates is a better set than Prismatic Evolutions, which I don't believe that Paldean Fates is a better set than Prismatic Evolutions, but let's say you do argue that, the last set I'm going to be comparing it to, Obsidian Flames. And then Obsidian Flames ETB is $250. Prismatic Evolutions ETB is $168. So Obsidian Flames ETB is $82 more than a Prismatic Evolutions ETB. And let's look at the cards in Obsidian Flames. It's a $110 Charizard. That's the most expensive card. A $70 promo card that all ETBs get, the Charmander, where his face is against the window. It's a very nice card. It's probably one of the best promo cards in an ETB that Pokemon has released. And then after that, it's the Ninetales, which is $44. So there's only one card over $100. Yet Obsidian Flames and one card over $100 is only $110, so it's barely over $100. Whereas the Prismatic Evolutions has 10 cards over $110. And with that, Obsidian Flames is more expensive than Prismatic Evolutions, mainly because Obsidian Flames is out of print. So being out of print does matter, but Prismatic Evolutions is for sure a much better set than Obsidian Flames. And Obsidian Flames is $82 more than Prismatic Evolutions. So I just compared it to some stuff because I feel like I didn't want to just come on this camera and say that Prismatic Evolutions is underrated without having some numbers to back it up. But I do think that Prismatic Evolutions is underrated because it's been printed a lot. There was a massive reprint recently, which made the Prismatic Evolutions ETBs go from over $200 all the way down to $168. So if you've been looking to buy Prismatic Evolutions ETBs, I do think right now is a good time to buy it. I don't think that Prismatic Evolutions will drop anymore in price. It might drop a little bit, but what's going to happen, in my opinion, is that Prismatic Evolutions, once this wave of ETBs dries up, it'll go up to over $200 again. And then as it goes to its near out of print date next year, it will start to go up a lot in price. I would not be surprised if it hit near the Paldean Fates $400 mark of the $400 Paldean Fates ETB price. So let me know what you think. Do you think Prismatic Evolutions is underrated? I personally do. I'm not saying that any of these other sets are bad. Ascended Heroes is an amazing set. If you buy Ascended Heroes and hold it for the next 5 years, I can pretty much, I'm not going to ever say 100%, but I can pretty much guarantee that you'll be up in your Ascended Heroes investment if you're going to invest in Ascended Heroes, buying it today compared to 5 years from now, unless the Pokemon market completely dies. But at that point, no matter what you bought, it's going to be down. Like, these are all good sets. Phantasmal Flames is a set that's going to do well. Paldean Fates is a set that's going to continue to do well. Obsidian Flames will continue to do well. But at this moment, at the price points, I do believe that Prismatic Evolutions is underrated. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you think Prismatic Evolutions is underrated, if it's overrated, if it's rated just right, what your reasons are for it. It's very interesting to hear what people have to say about different stuff. But let me know in the comments what you think about Prismatic Evolutions, and if you agree with any of my points, if you disagree with any of my points, because I'm not always right. These are just my opinions. I'm putting them out there based on things that I've gathered in my head, looking at prices, looking at different sets, but I can totally be wrong. So let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong. And if you watched it to this far, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. They're all TCG Collectors House. I would really appreciate it. Mainly YouTube, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, because that's the first step to getting the YouTube partner program. There's some stuff after it. And I'm long ways because I'm at 300 something, but that is my goal, and I'll keep making videos to get there, but only do it if you did enjoy watching the video. I don't want you to do it just to do it. But most importantly, I really do appreciate you watching. Drop a like, drop a comment. They really help with the algorithm, and I really appreciate you, and I'll see you next time.